Well, welcome everybody to what is this, Josh? How many is this? Our consecutive Q&A. We've had quite a
Oh
few, and
man.
hasn't this been fun?
Yeah, this is the best. I seriously look forward to every single one of these.
Right?
I love I love going back and forth with you and kind of tag teaming this and answering these questions. It's
Great.
really fun.
Well, I know that we had some questions before, and one of these questions were asked, but we have our amazing Elizabeth on the line with us this evening, and she has a price report. One of the questions had to do with Lyme disease. And of course, we always say before our Q&As that we don't treat, cure, or diagnose. We just give the body what it needs, and the body knows exactly what to do with it. The trouble is, most people don't have all the nutrients that Cardio Miracle has in it. And so therefore they flounder and they're always looking for more nutrients and other vitamins. And so we just encourage everyone to try the product. It is everything your body needs and then some. So over to you, Elizabeth.
Hi there. Glad to be on with you guys. Let me see if I can get my camera pulled up here.
We're excited to have you this
Yes.
evening.
Hi
You
there.
look gorgeous.
Thank you, darling. So happy to be with you all. I just wanted to give a really exciting report. We did have a question come in about Lyme disease. This was leading up prior to this call. We had a few questions, so we wanted to address those. Obviously to Lisa's sentiment, we're not treating, curing or diagnosing with Cardio Miracle, but I actually was speaking with a customer. This particular person is in Connecticut. Both her and her mother had severe, I guess I'm going to say have severe Lyme disease. And when they started on the product, and the thing to know about Lyme disease is Lyme hides in biofilm. As far as I understand it from Dr. Joshua Hellman, who is a MD, Harvard, MIT biochemist, Lyme hides in biofilm, and that is why people with Lyme get diagnosed with things like Hashimoto's and thyroid and other issues, because this Lyme is hiding essentially in this ball of virus accumulation that's just like hanging out in your body. And everybody has biofilm; it's nothing to be afraid of. But with Lyme, there's much more presence of biofilm, and inflammation is attached to that biofilm, and all those things that are associated with Lyme, the flare-ups. So this particular Cardio Miracle customer, they had started on the product, and they actually, when they started on it, they had a flare up. Their knees, blew up, and they didn't feel really great for a couple days. But what followed that was literally a miracle. This person now, following their journey about a few months, probably about 6 months into them being consistent. The key is consistency on Cardio Miracle. If you take a powerful product and it's going to do something to help you,
Yeah. Yes.
and there's something wrong with your body, how are you going to get helped? You got to get the bad stuff out, right? So
Mhm.
that is what nitric oxide is best at. It's an intercellular communicator. So it's a beautiful molecule, and it's very powerful. And so, 6 months being consistent on Cardio Miracle, this woman has now opened a bakery business, and she's doing great. She's living her best life, and she's not having flare-ups.
Amazing.
So I just wanted to give that amazing report, because we did have the question on Lyme, and I do have that wonderful testimonial. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because, this is really, there's walking miracles out there from Cardio
Mhm.
Miracle people, you guys and others. So thank you. Thank you for
Well,
letting me
thank
share that.
you so much, Elizabeth. You bring so much light and love no matter where you go. We really appreciate you. And again, when it comes to massive inflammation in the body, it can come from different places and different areas. And the main purpose, of course, to all the nutrients in the product are to lessen the inflammatory attack on the body. We know stress causes overwhelming inflammation. We know that undue and necessary toxins and chemicals and the rest. But at the end of the day, the life is in the blood. And that's what nitric oxide does. And John has been able to perfect this product and what it does for everybody. So, what was the next question, Josh, that we had?
Well, yeah, real quick, I wanted to add to that a little bit, if I could. The that inflammation and these recurring things, maybe, Lyme's, some of the symptoms I'm sure can be like these lingering things, and flare-ups can happen. But I used to get this really annoying what is it, cold sore, like right from my
Oh,
lip to the top for the bottom of my no, nostril. And I would stay home from school for 10 days because I was so
Oh,
embarrassed
wow.
when I was a kid. And
Wow.
so when I started on nitric oxide therapy with L-arginine, L-citrulline, it actually kind of flared up in the beginning. And I have not had a canker or not a canker sore, a cold sore for over 7 years because
Awesome.
I've been on nitric oxide therapy for a long time, but I was like thinking about that while Elizabeth was talking. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So I just
That
want
is that is awesome. But to your point, and this might come up in the further conversations, in natural medicine, we call it retracing. So if you might be having some symptomology after you start on the product, and maybe you're having some of those old um, feelings and experiences in your body that you were trying to get away from,
right.
it's really important to drink more water. Whatever you do, don't stop the product. I would say, if it were me, just push forward, maybe lessen a little bit, but then continue on the path and increase your water. Because promise you, at the end of it, you'll be feeling so much better and glad that you did.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I do as well. I supplement with lysine from time to time just to make sure that I balance out a little bit. But anyway, next question. I've been taking your product for a few months. I've recently started to learn about red light, near infrared light therapy. I ran across this below, and I'm hoping you can provide some clarification from me. And it's about red light therapy and how it helps with the cells. And so, did you have anything to expound on that, Lisa?
No, I mean, red light therapy is fantastic for inflammation. We years ago were doing live cell analysis before and after red light therapies, and we are finding that the cells were cleaner, they had more mobility. Red light therapy helps get rid of the junk, and overall makes the person feel better. It's also proven in clinical studies that red light therapy also helps with mood. So if you in parts of the country right now where there isn't much sun, red light
Right.
therapy is fantastic. And also, to add on to that, piggyback, the B vitamins in the Cardio Miracle product, because of where it's sourced from, are the finest type of B vitamins available. And so they will automatically start giving you more energy and help you with a new cellular renewal as well. So yeah, red light
Love
therapy
it.
is fantastic.
Yeah, I have actually had feedback, from customers that have said that red light therapy, um, in addition to Cardio Miracle, actually makes it even more effective. And so the just like with a chiropractor, we say the people go to a chiropractor, they take Cardio Miracle. The reason why it helps so much with that is with the chiropractor, it's going to hold those adjustments in longer. It's going to help them to have more blood flow and to continue to stay, so you don't have to go back to the chiropractor every other day or whatever. So that's one of the reasons why we work with quite a few chiropractors as well. So that's a really good point. Thank you, Lisa.
That's fantastic. Thank you. One of the questions here is Cardi Miracle good to support the adrenals? Absolutely. It was over 20 years ago when I did my first paper on adrenal fatigue. Like, I had no idea how important, even though I'd been a nurse for 22 years, and I really didn't understand the power of the adrenals and how they operated. They're two like walnut-sized glands right above your kidneys, but they're the master conductors in your body. They are what, excrete the hormone adrenaline. And also, we know that cortisol, that can all be bad things if you're not properly, giving your body what it needs on a daily basis. But we know that B vitamins, again, are very helpful for the adrenals, and you really can't overdo it. Sometimes you're going to get a niacin flush if you take too much of the B vitamins and the niacin. But what we're finding in the Cardi Miracle product, it absolutely loves the adrenal glands. So some of the symptomology, and we talk about symptoms of poor health, or maybe a symptom of a dis-ease, sometimes is a lack of motivation, sleeping a lot, you just feel overwhelmed, very weepy. It does affect your moods, it affects your heart rate, it affects your ability to, you have clearness of thought. And sometimes you feel like your heart is racing. Sometimes you think you just can't, hone in and concentrate. Adrenal fatigue is a really big thing. And one of the biggest culprits of adrenal fatigue is the energy drinks. guarana, caffeine, and sugar, they're all tremendously important for the adrenal fatigue as far as that goes, but it will add an increase adrenal fatigue. So if you can at all, stay away from the caffeine, stay away from the white sugar, and definitely stay away from the guarana and some of the stimulants. And that's what I appreciated so much when I first visited with John about the product. He said there's no caffeine, there's no sugar, there's no stimulants. It just gives the body natural energy. So sometimes what would happen if a person is on a therapy for adrenal fatigue, they'll notice at first they might be a little bit tired, but after a while you're going to have a natural energy. You're not going to have a spike. It's going to naturally increase, and it's also not going to affect your blood sugar, because many times people with adrenal fatigue, they'll have their blood sugars will bottom, their blood sugars will go up, they'll have all kinds of problems with regulation of their blood sugar. So it's really important to take care of those. So I think if you study the ingredients in the Cardio Miracle product, you're going to find that every single one of them is helpful for the adrenals, and we need to keep them healthy. The adrenals also affect the thyroid. So sometimes you run into situations where people are so exhausted and they're thinking it's a thyroid issue, when in actuality, it's an adrenal fatigue issue, because the two are tied together. So if you fix the adrenals, most of the time, if you have an underlying thyroid issue, it will correct itself.
Love that. I love that. And, I've been reading a lot up on, cortisol levels and spikes, and when your receptors are kind of burnt out, and, people get depressed, especially during this time of year,
Right.
it's seasonal depression and whatnot. Like, one of our biggest, most consistent testimonials of all time is that people say that once they try Cardio Miracle, the brain fog is the first to go. And
Isn't that great?
it's like, yeah, it's amazing. So I love that. And again, it's all about consistency. It's all
Yeah.
about continuing to stay on the product and stick with it, even though the nitric oxide has been proven to last 24 to 36 hours in your system with Cardio Miracle. We definitely want to keep it fresh. We want to keep it in our bodies and keep doing it day by day. And actually, it leads us into our next question of I've been taking Cardio Miracle for about 6 weeks. Blood pressure still high. How long does it take to see results? Me personally, I'll take this one real quick, is that when I first went on the product, my blood pressure was off the charts. And yeah, you as well. So, and again, we always have to disclaimer, we don't diagnose, we don't, make claims, but I can tell you that with a previous nitric oxide supplement, I was taking 8 to 12 servings a day of this nitric oxide supplement. And then with Cardio Miracle, I take 2 to 4 a day. And all I can say is my blood pressure used to be extremely elevated, and now it's very level. It's a 106/60 when I was up in the, 200 over or 110, 200 over 110 range. So it was kind of crazy. But Lisa, let's hear your story on blood pressure.
Well, that's actually the reason I'm here. We're
Yeah.
at an event together. I know some of you have already heard my story. Hopefully you don't get weary of it, but my blood pressure was very high. It was 210 over 114. I had no idea. That's why they call it a silent killer. My head just felt a little funny. And so with that knowledge in mind, I went to talk to John Hewlett and I said, could your product possibly help with high blood pressure? And he said, absolutely. We don't treat, cure, diagnose, but we have all the nutrients in the Cardio Miracle plus the nitric oxide that, will help to deliver the nitric oxide to where it's supposed to go with all the other nutrients. So I started off, because mine was relatively high, I started off with 6 scoops a day. That's, I would say, 6 servings, not scoops. Look at the serving size on the new packages, if you have the old packages versus the new packages. But I took 6 servings the first day, 6 the second day, 6 the third day. The fourth day I went down to 4 scoops, and I remain to this day on 4 servings a day. Sometimes if I'm, traveling a lot and there's nothing good to eat in the airport, I might take a little bit more. But please don't be afraid to take more of the product. The other thing that's really important with blood pressure is hydration. When I was running a high blood pressure clinic, isn't that hilarious? I ran a high blood pressure clinic and I ended up with high blood pressure. But with that being said, we would tell everybody, make sure you're walking 20 to 30 minutes a day, making sure that you're hydrating well, you're not taking too many stimulants. You take at least 30 minutes a day to meditate, be quiet, and just calm everything down. But yeah, don't be afraid to take more of the product. This is the finest nutrient on the planet. You'll hear Dr. Judy Mukovich talk about it, and she'll say this is live living food. So again, I'd love to hear from you, see if that is working if you increase the product. There's
Yeah.
another question here about B12. I'm going to answer it. Is there a limit to the scoops you take a day? I think I already answered that. Should you drink a cup of water to each scoop you take? Nope. You can just fill it up. You know, I'm drinking a couple scoops right now. Don't be afraid. If you like it very strong, you can certainly mix, 2 to 3 servings in a glass of water. If you want it, you can take it in a jug if you want it dilute a little bit more. The other question was about a heart valve and also some challenges that they might be having with their medication. We don't touch the medication conversation just because we're not medical people. But I will say, if we can talk for just a minute on how our blood is going to operate on it, the way that we were created so marvelously is that our blood cells are supposed to be viscous. They're supposed to slide against each other, and we're supposed to have blood that's going to increase the blood flow. When your blood is sticky, that's a lot of time why they will tell you to take a blood thinner. But do your own homework on vitamin C, because we have a whole food vitamin C, and also combined with the nitric oxide and then with the B vitamins. I'd be very surprised if your cells didn't look differently after you're taking the product over a period of time, because those all make the cells slippery. And what they're concerned about when they put you on a blood thinner, they don't want you to clot up, and they don't want you to have a clot that's going to break off and go to the brain in different places. But if I had a valve problem, or if I had those type of situations that you were just describing and those medication, I would make sure that I'm taking the Cardio Miracle product. It's a very safe product.
Absolutely. And one of the major things that nitric oxide has been referred to as is a great regulator. So anything happening in either your cardiovascular or your endocrine system, it is going to regulate that. And
Yes.
that's the reason why people say, yeah, all the time on social media, just drink beets, and that's great. People can drink beets, they can gnaw on beets all day. The Googled time frame of nitric oxide that is created and sustained with beets is 7 minutes, just so you know. So with Cardio Miracle, we're at 24 to 36 hours, and then generation time is within 0.3 of a second once you start drinking it, and that's the reason why it's a powder instead of in a pill form. So which I think is,
besides that, it tastes great, Josh.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely, of
So
course.
good.
No,
So
it tastes
good.
great. And someone asked, is it okay if you have naturally low blood pressure to be on Cardio Miracle? And this, again, touchy subject. The only thing, this is kind of an interesting fact. The only time on Google that it says you should not take a nitric oxide supplement is when you have low blood pressure. But I have had an ex-wife who had low blood pressure and would pass out in the middle of delivering other babies, which was terrifying to her coworkers and things. But she had low blood pressure, and the only thing that we agree on, besides the love of my children, is that Cardio Miracle is a great product. So she takes it. She started slow. She only did 1 serving a day, and now she actually continues on the product. We've almost been divorced for 10 years, and she continuously says, are there any deals? How can I get more product or whatever? And so it's something that we say be careful with. Talk to your physician. But if you're taking your health into your own hands and you really want to see what you can do with it, she did it, and she just monitored herself. So,
well, as you said, nitric oxide is the greatest regulator.
Yeah.
So there you go. And the body is always striving for equilibrium and for homeostasis. So it's always going to strive for balance in your body. That's the way we were created. It just depends on what we give it. So that's great. Is there another question
Love it.
there?
Oh yeah, yeah, we got another one. So we got next question is, how should I start hold on. How should I start her on Cardio Miracle? Can she have it with a meal? I thought I would try it on her. She's eating cream of wheat for breakfast. How can I give it to her? So, Karen, thank you so much for your question. So with this type of situation, I like to take my Cardio Miracle whilst I'm fasting because I do intermittent fasting. I've lost 180 pounds practicing intermittent
Woo-hoo.
fasting and intentional eating. And so if you take Cardio Miracle while fasting, it actually utilizes the vitamin D that is stored in your fat cells. And the only thing that spikes on a fasted stomach with Cardio Miracle is going to be your vitamin D levels. So I like to take a long fasting. If she's eating cream of wheat cereal, that'll be fine. It's just the only thing we say if you're going to have some protein to keep it, within 20 to 30 minutes before or after. Lisa, anything on that?
No, just, yeah, stay away from caffeine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, caffeine too. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Caffeine. A lot of people like their coffee in the morning. So I would suggest, based on all the information out there, we all wake up in the morning dehydrated and we run for the coffee pot. So I would suggest take a big glass of water, put a couple scoops of the Cardi Miracle in there and drink that first. So it goes down to the microbiome in your stomach because all the nutrients in the Cardi Miracle are acting as an equilibrium for the balancing of the gut biome. So that's exciting too.
Absolutely. And sorry, I missed the first part of Karen's question. She was talking about her mother who's on Eliquis. And if you Google, does nitric oxide interfere with Eliquis? It actually says blatantly, no, it does not. So that's on Google. So that's just a question that I put in there. So, and it's all about nitric oxide therapy is what we're worried about because, Cardio Miracle has been proven to create nitric oxide. So
Yes.
we're only looking at the facts with nitric oxide therapy. So those are great questions. Thank you for that. And next question is it vitamin B12 that is in it? I don't eat meat or dairy. I'm supposed to have vitamin B12 each day. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We have the
Definitely
whole B
take this
vitamin
B.
family in there. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. The other thing that I wanted to talk to everybody about this evening was the immune system and what, it's going to be the holidays. We just went through Thanksgiving. Many people that I know ended up with the throwing up flu, and then now other people are ending up with the upper respiratory situation. So, what I like to do is tell everybody whatever you were doing before, if you're going to be out and about with friends, relatives, what have you, double up on your product. That's what I would do if I were you. Don't be afraid to take more because zinc, we know zinc is a huge booster of your immune system, as well as nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, as Josh just said, is a regulator, and it also helps to promote your immune system. So just don't be afraid to take more of the product. People are going to wonder what you're drinking. You're going to be the healthiest one around.
Absolutely. So I had an independent question come into me about someone asking about cancer, prostate cancer. Again, we always have to disclaimer that we're not doctors. We're just passionate Cardio Miracle drinkers.
Right.
And all we want to do is help to save the hearts of mankind.
Yeah.
So very sorry to hear about the prostate cancer. Actually, what I have researched on my own is how nitric oxide actually does help with prostate. As far as eliminating or slowing down or whatever with the cancer, it's all a matter of what nitric oxide does to the system. So what it's going to do, like I said, natural regulator, but also it's going to just help purify the blood. It's going to help go into your liver and purify your liver and I mean, I don't know how far do we dive into this one, Lisa? I think symptoms more than anything is going to help with that. But do you have something to add on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Let me share with everybody. So when I would start taking care of patients, post diagnosis of cancer, a lot of times they were in cancer therapies, internally in a hospital, in a cancer center, what have you. One thing that I say we as providers of healthcare, we did a very poor job of giving them nutrients as they were going through their treatments. So if somebody chooses whatever treatment they make, the underlying challenge with cancer is it gobbles up your healthy cells, and it doesn't assist with the oxygenation of your healthy cells, doesn't help with the movement. And if you look at normal cells in a live cell analysis, you'll see that they do look grotesque. They don't look normal and reformed and so on. So, and uniform. So the one thing we want to encourage everyone to do, although we don't cure, treat, or diagnose, particularly cancer, we want to support the body as the body moves through that transition stage, and we want to give the healthy cells more and more nutrients. There is wonderful, wonderful mushrooms in the Cardi Miracle product, as well as all the ingredients are geared to increasing your pH in the body. So we know that a cancer cell cannot grow in a high pH. So our goal is to create homeostasis in the body, create a pH where healthy cells love to frolic and have parties and have fun, and the abnormal cells kind of go away because they can't stand it. And that's kind of the environment that we create with all the nutrients in the Cardi Miracle product. So if it were me, I would definitely double up and even maybe even triple up on the Cardi Miracle product. And just so your body has enough ammunition to fight whatever it might be fighting. And I did have one lady that called, and she had been going through chemotherapy, gone through some other therapies, and she had these sores in her mouth that were very troublesome and prevented her from eating. So what she was doing is she was taking the Cardi Miracle. She was if it was too strong, of course, it would cause discomfort in the mouth. But she diluted it and she sipped on that all day long. And she said from first time she had the canker sores and the uncomfortableness in her mouth, that it went away and she never came back again. So I like to say that Cardi Miracle is going to meet you wherever you're at, whatever choices you made, whatever you're going through. Your body still needs all these wonderful nutrients. And Josh, we say all the time, wouldn't it be difficult to have 700 nutrients and over 58 ingredients on a daily basis? How do you do that? You just can't do that without this product.
Yeah, we've kind of thrown around the imagery
Yeah.
of like with Elizabeth um
Yeah.
to do all the vitamins in a giant, couple
Yeah.
handfuls, and then to do a glass of Cardio Miracle, and just to price that out. And we we have started that process like several times, and we're just like, this is it's not, it's not worth it. It's
Be
just
$1,000 a month.
seriously. And that's the biggest thing that I like to talk to people about is that, like, especially right now, right now we have this incredible, I'll do a shameless plug here for the ambassador program. I mean, we have this incredible ambassador program
Oh, that's
where,
the way to go.
yeah, where you can refer it to other people. You
Right.
can get 20% back on whatever people purchase, and you can sign up for it for free. There's no cost to sign up,
Yep.
and you can literally get in there and start recommending the product and making it happen. And people
Awesome.
are making money, and they are, they're subsidizing their cost with Cardio Miracle, and just through that, just making the percentages
Amen.
back. So it's pretty fantastic that John has given us the opportunity to go out and share. And it's not a multi-level marketing, any of that. It's a true affiliate program, ambassador program, where you can go share something that you're passionate about,
Yeah.
and you can make some money back on it. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's
So,
one thing that I love about your dad's heart. He's always concerned about giving back, and he has a heart for mankind. And so he's really made an impression I think on probably everybody on this call and the thousands around the country. But yeah, giving back is really important to John. So what I would suggest, if you like what you heard here this evening, maybe this is your first Q&A. Maybe this is the first time you're meeting the Josh and Lisa show. But we really want to encourage you to come back and keep in touch and let us help you help other people, because you can reach people that we can't. So we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, we have another question here. It said, John said on a Zoom that it's okay to take Cardio Miracle with other supplements. Should I drink Cardio Miracle, then wait 30 minutes to take supplements? Would that optimize the Cardio Miracle benefits? I have take a couple supplements myself. I take omegas. I take some magnesium, and I do it with my Cardio Miracle. I mean, I don't think it creates a problem. I think it helps actually the supplements that I take in addition to get through my, to my system better and more effectively. But Lisa, do you have thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I don't think, I mean, if you think about this as food, and you're taking other nutrients with it, but I would really encourage everyone to do a health inventory at home. Look in your cupboards and see what you're currently taking. Look on the back of the bag and see what you should see if you're taking too much. Maybe you're overriding, because I did that when I sat down and started evaluating what I'm going to be taking on a daily basis. The only other ingredients that I take, or products that I take, of course, are an omega, like you mentioned, a protein, and the Cardio Miracle product. I mean, there really isn't too much else that we really need that isn't in the product. And if you need
Absolutely.
more, I think the secret, you just touched on it a little bit ago, and I just want to really push this home. It's Christmas time, right? We're all looking for products and gifts to give to people. We're from the Midwest. It gets dark now at about 5:30 in the evening, and it doesn't get light right away in the morning. So there's a lot of darkness. And we talked earlier about the challenges that people are having from not seeing the sun, but that's a real reaction that your body is having at the lack of vitamin D. And some people actually call vitamin D a hormone. So it's really important, if you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling kind of, out of sorts, please increase your Cardio Miracle product, because that vitamin D deficiency that some people might be experiencing, it's a real thing. And when I read that report, Josh, I was so excited. We talk about it all the time. Nitric oxide is the key that unlocks the stored vitamin D. So please take more of the products during the winter months, I think, for your own mental health, and to get you through some of the dark days.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. And it's so true, the seasonal depression is a real thing.
It is
I used to tell people all the time, I would be like, oh, come on, like just get up and go for a walk, or get up and go to the gym. And it's real though. It's debilitating sometimes. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things that we're working with, like with veterans with PTSD and things of that
Yes.
nature. And we're really honored to be a part of something that helps people with the cognitive function, so that they can get up, and they do feel like they have a purpose, especially. So I wanted to go back to this question from Karen about she's asking if her mom can take it in different ways, or if it's just water. There are people. I was talking to my cousin about this morning. Is you can mix it with orange juice, cranberry juice. You can squeeze a lemon in it to dilute it a little bit, or put more water in it. Some people have brought up with our new formula, our enhanced formula, that the price, or that the taste has changed significantly. I don't really feel that, or like notice that, because I'm just so used to all the different products that we've had, and the different flavorings and stuff. But I think it tastes great personally. But I know that I've taken lion's mane by itself before. That was not fun.
No,
And
it's terrible. So are the arginines. All the arginines, I'm telling you, they are horrible. You had to pay
yeah.
yourself to take it.
Yeah, so water, juice, you could put it in a spinach smoothie if you'd like. The only thing that we say don't do it is just don't mix with protein. That's it. And to go back to like my journey real quickly with intermittent fasting, whenever I feel like I'm starting to go backwards and go back to my days of being 480 pounds, I I go for a nice long intermittent fast, and that resets me. And so I'll do 20 hours. I'll do like 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. the next day, and I'll drink Cardio Miracle whenever I'm feeling tempted, I guess, or if I'm feeling like I'm about to break my fast, I drink either a half a scoop or a full scoop, just for me, because I know like a full serving is 10 calories, I believe, or 20. And so I just know for me, and what has helped me is that I just kind of sip on it all morning while I'm working.
Mhm.
I don't drink coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, never have been. But yeah, Cardio Miracle is just kind of my go-to. So
I think that's great. And I think, we just had one of our associates did it a 40-day water fast, and he did it with Cardio Miracle. And he travels all over the country, and his pictures all over on social media were so impressive after 40 days with just Cardio Miracle and water.
that's
It was
wow.
incredible. I'd
That's
never known anybody that did it that long, but he said he felt great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is amazing. Holy cow. Part of me like wants to try something like that, but the other part of me loves to work out, and I do need, that energy. So maybe that's my excuse, right? I can't do it.
I think it takes a special person,
Yes.
let me tell you. And there are
Yeah.
some of them out there. Any more questions?
I love it. You know, the thing is that with the diluting it, with taking Cardio Miracle in the morning on a fasted stomach, we do suggest keeping it about 30 minutes from coffee or caffeine. That was one of the questions: is how much time
Oh,
between
yeah.
eating Cardio Miracle before coffee, and so it's either before or after. I like to do it before, obviously, before I drink any caffeine or anything, and I go work out in the morning sometimes. So there are sometimes that I'll do like a preload with Cardio Miracle, or I will do, I'll do some Cardio Miracle after my workout, just depending on how I feel, But I'm not really big on working out on a fasted stomach. I mainly like to do some cardio on a fasted stomach, but really, different strokes for different folks. So, what about you, Lisa? What's your morning routine?
Yeah, well, like I said, we're dehydrated when we wake in the morning. Most of the top healers that I know out there talk about at least taking a glass of water, whether you like the high pH water, whether you like the hydrolyzed water. But I think adding the Cardi Miracle to your water and drinking it first thing in the morning helps to hydrate, helps with your microbiome. And then wait about 30 minutes. And if you want to drink your coffee, you want to eat your breakfast, whatever that might be. But I sip on it all day long. Yeah, that's just kind of my routine. I feel like and if I'm traveling, yeah, I know, cheers. If I'm traveling, I always make sure that I have extra because, you go through those airports, you're traveling, and you look at the ingredients and some of the products that you can buy over the counter, even the food that they call food, and then you kind of you don't feel good then when you get to your destination. So I would increase it during these times that we might be traveling.
Yeah, and we actually had a question about that. Excuse me. Cardio Miracle set off the alarm at the airport, alerting to a toxic chemical. Customer went through quite a lot of hassle before she was allowed to move on. She was told it was possibly the monk fruit. Have you ever heard of this before, Lisa? I never
Never.
have. Yeah,
And I have gone through probably hundreds, if not thousands, of
me too.
airport security at this point. The only thing that has happened to me on occasion is if I don't seal the bag correctly,
Yeah.
it can explode in my suitcase. And they put me through the paces. That's very interesting. I don't
Yeah, I've
I
never
don't
heard of
think
that
no.
ever, actually. So I don't know. I just know with our single serving packets that should not be a problem. I know that one time I brought a can, like a little can, a 60 serving can with me in my carry-on, foolishly. But I brought it on, and I was joking around with a TSA guy, and some of them do joke around, but he looked at it, he opened it, and it was like, and he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my supplement," and I'm like, "You can try some if you want." And he's like, "No, just go," and he gave it back to me. So I, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I talk. I don't know, or something. Maybe just because I'm this jolly guy. I mean, I don't know. But anyway,
Well,
so yeah, I'm really
that's
sorry that
really
happened.
interesting. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
sad.
would just say you know, if all else fails, use those single serving packets or put it in a little Ziploc or whatnot. And I think you should be, or whatever they have, those little pill bottles or whatever,
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
should be fine. But yeah, Lisa, there's no one that I know that travels more than you. So if that,
Well, last week it was, I went to an event and we were in front of all these amazing boxers, and
oh my gosh.
it was fantastic. But I took all my product with me that I so wonderfully received just a few days before I left. And the guys were going through my suitcase at the airport. They're like, "What are you doing with all this stuff?" Because I had 3 big bags, and but I got a chance to talk to him about it. I handed him my card. I said, "You guys are tired. You're worn out. You're with these electrical machines all the time. What's the matter with you? You need to be taking some really good nutrition, because we know that." Which brings up another point, is that if you are going through, if you have we know that the EMFs are real, right? We know that when we're traveling, whether you're going through X-rays, whatever it is, that the EMFs will destroy the cellular energy and actually pop your cells like popcorn that we would see like on a live cell analysis. So what I would do, if you're concerned about that, not that we protect the body from EMFs, but if the body is getting enough nutrients, the body's going to have a higher vibration and a higher pH, and it's going to constantly be striving for that homeostasis and creating good healthy cells. So fear no more. Cardio Miracle's here. It's good for all things.
I love it. Can you, yeah, I'm so sorry. I skipped over a question about gastrointestinal issues. How they were wondering about how it can help with those, or like I've heard from people that have customers that have taken it that have like IBS, the irritable bowel syndrome, that it actually has, regulated that and helped them to control that a little bit more. But as far as like getting like a stomach ache or getting even on a fasted stomach, like I don't experience that. Like that's just not my thing. But I mean, I'm different. I drink liquid garlic when I'm sick. I mean, I do this crazy stuff. So, what about you, Lisa? Do you have any suggestions?
You're invincible. You're amazing. But I would say truly, and I'll ask the question, and if the individual can think about it, but why are you having gastrointestinal issues? Is it because of GERD? Is it because you don't have, the body doesn't have the proper probiotics in the gut and in the lining of the gut? Have you been drinking a lot of sodas, a lot of acidic foods? Are you taking medication that might be stripping the lining of your esophagus and your stomach? There's all kinds of reasons that could cause gastrointestinal disruption. But if it were me, again, I would start, if you want to start off slow and just sip it throughout the day, because it will because you absorb nutrients like we talked about, that thin wonderful lining, the endothelial lining that's in your body and throughout your body. That sometimes can become, we talk about the spike protein, how it spikes the endothelial system in the body. Same thing can happen with a lot of other things. So you end up with the disruption there, and that will bleed into, not bleed necessarily, but it will, affect your lining of your stomach and your esophagus and throughout your whole body. So I would be very encouraged to have something like Cardio Miracle to take on a daily basis with all the nutrients in it. It's very soothing, it's not disruptive, and it's not acidic.
I love it. Yeah. And I was thinking about it while you were talking, and you know, I am going back to 2018, 2019 when I was the biggest I'd ever been, and I was, I was a strongman competitor. I was active, but I was big. But the thing is when I stopped eating like pizza and cookies and ice cream, that a lot of my, almost all of my, feeling like I was gonna, I was like feeling like this heartburn like crazy whenever I'd lay down and whatever. And so I started upping my cardio miracle and taking care of myself and intermittent fasting and everything. And
That's
it
great.
really, really helped me a lot to cut out some of those super acidic foods,
That's great. We have a lot of people that love hot food and they do very well with it. Don't be afraid to take the Cardio Miracle with it. But our bodies are designed so we can withstand different kind of nutrients and foods that we love to eat. So don't
Sure.
be afraid to take more.
Yeah, I love that. And so here we go. We got another question about I'm a tea drinker. How should I use Cardio Miracle? I would say it's the same thing, right? With just
Mhm.
of just kind of doing it 30 minutes before or after
Yeah.
having the
Yeah.
tea. Yeah. Cause I love I do my tea at night, because um I do this herbal tea with some like liquid melatonin to help calm me down. And
Nice.
that really helps me because I like to drink it piping hot, but this but if then I can't get to bed by like 1, then I'll get up and have two servings of Cardio Miracle and I'll go to bed like that. So
Well,
I
that
mean,
brings up a really good point, Josh, because we adaptogenics are called adaptogenics for a reason. That means that they will help your body adapt to whatever environment is around you. So there's different vitamins and minerals and nutrients that are called adaptogenics. And
mm,
the Cardi Miracle is loaded with adaptogenics. So it will help your body adjust to if it's stress, it's going to help you with that, the stress hormones, if you need to rest, if you need energy throughout the day. So it will help you adjust to that and
love
adapt
it.
to that. One of the other questions was on is it in the PDR? Funny you should ask. We're working on that as we speak. It's a physician's desk reference, and there is a natural PDR as well that has to do with supplements. And so we are right now working to get Cardio Miracle in the PDR. Thank you for asking. We're real excited about that.
Oh, it's a great question. Okay. And then someone asked about water intake. What is the recommended daily water intake aside from Cardio Miracle mixed in? I drink Cardio Miracle all day and about 12 to 16 ounces of water each. So, I mean, it seems like that, you should be getting enough water there, I would think, but it depends again on what you're trying to accomplish, right? Like, when I'm in like major, like, trying to either cut or whatever with my workouts, like I'm a gallon of water a day guy, but it just kind of depends on, um, but I can tell that like, my performance in the gym and my performance and even sleeping and recovery is drastically different when I'm hydrated, aside from when I'm not. So,
Yeah,
um,
a lot of issues can be corrected just if we hydrate.
yeah.
But the rule of thumb that we would have in natural medicine is take your weight and do half your body weight in ounces of water.
Mm,
So if you're, 180, then you do 90 ounces of water a day. That's kind of the plumb line. But if your mouth is dry, if your tongue is dry, if you find that your urine is very yellow, that means most of the time that you might be a little dehydrated. So increase your water intake until your urine is colorless.
love it. And we got a shout out, Lisa. We had somebody say, I don't have a question. I just want to tell you guys I love you. Josh and Lisa. That's awesome.
Aw. Ooh, we love you guys too.
No,
You guys
thank
are
you very
amazing.
much, you guys. It means a lot. And yeah, we
Yeah.
love the questions. We love helping where we can. Um, and just appreciate so much the shout out. Real quick question from Susan. Can you take Cardio Miracle near or at the same time as chlorine dioxide? And what other things should be avoided? I'm not totally familiar with chlorine dioxide. Are you, Lisa?
Yes. You want to take it separate, if it were me, because of the potency of that particular um, product. I would take it an hour before or after, because it's designed to take care of parasites, bacteria, fungus, all of those type of things. So I would definitely let that the DC work for a while in your body, but take it separate about an hour if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Thank you. And yeah, we have someone asking about um, let's see, where can I learn more about Cardio Miracle? That's a great question. So if you go to cardiomiracle.com, that's a huge resource. If you go to cardiomiraclehealth.com, that's where you can sign up to be an ambassador. And then I'll tell you what, once you sign up to be an ambassador, you have access to an entire back office that is just like a plethora of information. And so it's incredible. But on cardiomiracle.com, we have all of our studies. People that have read those studies from start to finish, seriously, I've not had one person that has read the studies from start to finish who has said they're not going to, they're not going I mean, they said they're never going to go off of Cardio Miracle ever.
Amen.
Yeah. So
That's what I did because
yeah.
part of my brain is very logical and it works on the, analytic part because I love studies. And when I sat down and read those studies, one of them just came up about the time that I started with Cardio Miracle. I was fascinated. So if you get a chance to do that, please read. But we also have Cardio Miracle on YouTube, and you can go to our Cardio Miracle Facebook. Those places will give you not only praise reports from people, you can see our different postings, and all the rest. And also, our customer service is so amazing. They're only a phone call away. And if you ever need to reach out to Josh and I, you can certainly find us through them as well. But we're here to help, truly. And there are thousands of people right now that have similar stories and success stories and all of that. That's great.
Yeah, you guys, I have to shout out real quick something that I was able to do today, which was so exciting. I was talking to Elizabeth and Lori, and I was like jumping up and down. I was so excited. And we recently opened up a relationship because of John and Jason on the Tucker Carlson tour with Moms for America. And it was so
They're
exciting that this gentleman named Zach, he was driving through our city and he stopped at our office, and him and his wife, he walks in and he goes, "Hey, Josh, right?" And I said, "Yeah, Josh Hewlett, how you doing?" And he goes, "Hey, I'm Zach with Moms for America." I was like, "Are you serious?" And he said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I just drove here from Missouri." And he goes, "I want to sit down with you and like record a testimonial." And so it's so
Wow.
exciting, you guys. We're going to edit these, we're going to send them out to everybody, but it's so exciting to see what kind of results are happening in such a
Amazing.
fast pace, like such a quick time with these incredible people. And this guy, Zach, was saying that they're approached like every other day about people that want to join with them in their mission
Oh,
and
sure.
to support the mothers of America. And the fact that they decided to partner with us has been such a blessing. It's been so incredible. So
Oh,
watch
amazing.
watch out for all the podcasts that are coming out. We're gonna start beefing that up real real good.
It's going to be exciting. And podcasts are a way that what I thought was really fascinating, interesting was, Barron Trump, whether you like Trump or not, the facts are the facts. And his son is the one that encouraged him to start doing podcasts. He said that was one way that he could get to the people. And that again, we can tell our story through podcast. And you get to hear some of the most amazing people and their journeys and who they are. I mean, everybody from Kevin Sorbo to Josh Hewlett. I mean, there's amazing people that you're going to hear on these podcasts. So stay tuned because you can learn a lot that way as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're so excited, you guys. Thank you so much for your questions. If
Yes,
you want to reach out to me personally, it's josh@cardiomiracle.com. Or you can ask our support line, support@cardiomiracle.com. We have an amazing support team. If you
yes,
want to call the 1-800 number on the packaging, our Our call center is out there in Morbid, South Dakota. They're the salt of the earth, and they're willing to help anytime, day or night. So
That's
we're
great.
very excited about what's happening with our company, and just so excited to take this to the moon, you know.
Well, God bless everybody. Get ready for the Christmas holiday. You might see that we're going to be here and there. Our schedules might be a little bit different for the next few weeks, as we know already people are pretty busy. But we're here for you, and just keep in touch, and don't be afraid to reach out to each one of us. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Josh. You're the best.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Have a great
Thank
time. Happy
you.
holidays, everyone.